Hi, everyone. Raj Gavrola. Welcome to Experiencing Intelligent Breakthroughs in Your Sports Performance and Life. This week, we're talking about your consciousness. And in my model, the four areas, the relationship between your intrinsic motivation and inspiration, your positive attitude, your positive mindset, what you valued being what you think being valued, teaching the best attitude, having that focused best vision, and then having the tools, the concepts, the thinking tools, the learning to actually make it fun and enjoyable for your mood, how you feel, the bottom line, forward line, and your action towards achievement. So when all of those are aligned, you have consciousness. Now, here's the great thing about consciousness is that consciousness basically is giving you power and control. In other words, you feel power and control over the things that you have power and control of. Now, the things that you don't have power and control of, well, those things, they're not within your realm. However, with consciousness, the ability of having consciousness is to know that if something that's out of your realm needs to be in your realm or you need to have input into it, then that connection needs to be implemented. And it's precisely this interconnection that's a lot of times missing on teams or within athletes, and what it is that they're trying to do, what their dreams are, their vision, their mission, their goals, and clear aspirations are. And so that interconnect is not quite there. So because of that, the consciousness, it feels as if they are not in power and control of what they're doing. And that's not a good feeling for any athlete to have, right? And so you're wanting to create a culture and environment to where you're having the ability to provide that kind of input, to where you have and you value what your athlete thinks or what your team thinks, or you as a coach, what the coaches think. And being able to have that right support system will actually help you with your consciousness. So consciousness can look like mindfulness, thinking about what you're doing, feeling what you're doing, believing what you're doing, knowing what you're doing, all of those things. But it also can be in lots of other ways. It can be built or supported. And one way is, for example, with flexibility. Just because life happens and there's challenges, well, sometimes there are things that with flexibility as a tool can really, really help to make it a lot easier on the athlete. And these are just the things that when those challenges are taken care of, you see that your athlete performs better. It's just more fun and enjoyable for them. And so this is just on a very individual basis, but as a coach and an athlete learns this and the value of flexibility and being able to share that with the right people so that together there is a greater outcome in the end, that's something that's really, really important. And sometimes people may call this personal development. You can very well call that, if you want to say that there's professional and personal development, because we know that we're not robots. And so life does happen. There's no doubt about it. And there are challenges in life. But one of the main tools that I'd like you to think about if you're an athlete or a coach is, or a teammate, is just that tool of flexibility and what that really means and what value that can really provide for someone who's going through a challenging time currently. And it could be as simple as modifying a workout, Another example would be to do the workout or the training or the learning or whatever it may be at a different time of day. It could be some more individualized work that's customized for the person. It's just very highly individualized. But the main point I'm making is, and I'm asking, is are you using the value of flexibility to make it more fun and enjoyable for your athletes, for your team? Because that in itself will show and help your athletes to perform better, to make those breakthroughs. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you have a meaningful trigger for this evening. I know that I'm still trying to figure out my meaningful trigger. I used to have it figured out during the day. I like to have it figured out so that I can really look forward to something this evening. But last night I went out with some friends from a leadership program I participated in. And so that was fun, and it's always nice to see everyone and have conversation. But now tonight, thinking about doing something just a little unusual right here at home. So either sketching or something of that nature, just something that's like highly different than what I normally do. And I normally don't sketch, although I do have a sketchbook. And so that's what I have for you today. And just talk about the zone effect, which I've added to this segment. And the zone effect basically is the zone, which is when everything's in slow motion, time's not a deterring factor, and it feels effortless. And what I had is I had one of these challenging problems or issues happen in my life. And I tried to stick with my schedule as I normally do, and it just wasn't working. There's just too much going on, too much that I needed to take care of. And because I've had the flexibility and I understand the tool of flexibility and how to communicate that with the people that I need to communicate with, share that with them about the challenges I was occurring. I was working probably for the whole past week. I started working at 12:30, 1 o'clock. And just being able to do that just really allowed me to the space, the capacity that I needed to handle that situation, so that when I am doing what I'm doing it and I don't have that situation on my mind. What I'm doing is fun and enjoyable, and I'm making progress. So think about that tool, the tool of and value of using flexibility for your athletes, for your coaches. I hope you have a meaningful trigger for this evening. If something here resonates with you, you can contact me at 864-569-2315 or Raj at rajgavrola.com, and we can have a conversation about how I can help and what we can do to work together.